My name is Emily Charles. I am a current junior here at OCU. I'm a political science, philosophy, and economics major. I'm from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and I grew up at Tulsa First United Methodist Church. Yeah, so I grew up at Tulsa FUMC. I'm really passionate about leading worship, so I grew up in their youth band, and Jeff Logan, who was the worship pastor at the time, really brought me under his wing and raised me up in the church, and I led worship for them forever and was a worship arts intern when Jessica Moffitt became the head pastor there. And then when I moved to Oklahoma City from Tulsa to come to OCU, I began working at St. Luke's United Methodist Church as a youth intern with Amy Gibbons for their youth group. And then this past June, I started working at Yukon First United Methodist Church, and I'm their modern worship leader. Yeah, so freshman year, I was looking for a place to get plugged in. I am not a performing arts major here, and we are a very prominent performing arts school, so I wanted to be able to continue my passion of music while not studying it. And the worship leader at the time for the Wesley Center reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to play acoustic guitar for their little worship team that they had on Monday nights for Evensong. So I got plugged in and I've stuck with it. So now I'm the worship leader for the Wesley Center here. So I've been here for 3 years. My faith does impact the way that I am a part of different student organizations and roles within, the workplace at United Methodist Churches and here at OCU. I think having been raised in the church has really taught me a lot about how to have an open table and be really inclusive and just know what it means to love people well. So that's something that I really strive to do and just hold on to those values that, my parents instilled in me and that the church has instilled in me. And I think that that has really impacted my leadership on campus and the way that I lead and the way that I hold myself and the ways that I choose to be involved in certain things and not involved in others, and just really, pursuing my faith and using all of the opportunities here as growing experience within my faith life. So I do think that that has really impacted the way that I live here at OCU. So I am very involved on campus. I'm always busy and running around. I'm currently serving as the administrative vice president of my sorority, Gamma Phi Beta. I'm serving as chief justice of the OCU SGA, Student Government Association, Student Court. So I've loved to be a part of student government here as well. I serve on campus as a tour guide. I'm a Gold Star ambassador for admissions. So through all of those roles, I've really learned how to just find community in those places and be a part of creating community. I think that's become a really big part of my life and what I really enjoy about being a student at OCU and being involved in organizations. And so I think that some ways that my faith have played into that is just inviting people to the Wesley Center and inviting people to church with me. And they all have really wonderful churches. I go to a small group on Tuesday nights through another church that I don't work for. But just getting to really learn more about people and their faiths and where they come from. And I think that that's been a really beautiful part of having my faith be a part of who I am and me being a part of different organizations on campus. I think attending a United Methodist affiliated university has really just challenged my ideas, and it's been a space where I feel that I can ask all of the questions that I've always had and haven't been sure how to handle those on my own. So having a place that is full of people who have that knowledge and who have that same background in the United Methodist Church has been really valuable to me to know that I live here. This is where I go to school. This is where I'm getting my education, and those values that I hold really near and dear to my heart are things that I'm being taught and that are still being instilled in me as I'm continuing to grow in my faith. I think that this has been the most transitional time in my faith where I've grown the most. So to know that the leaders on campus and the staff on campus do have those values of the United Methodist Church has been really important to me in my college education. Yeah, so as someone who's not a religion major, who's really involved in religious life here on campus, the ways that religious life will translate into my future and into my life as I go out from here and graduate. I'm attending law school in the fall. So something that is really important to me is, as I become a lawyer, hopefully, and pursue that career path, I'll be able to remain involved in a church. And there are lots of connections that OCU religious life has given me to remain faithful in those churches as I am sent out from OCU, and to know that I can always come back to the Wesley Center if I need anything. And there are people here who really do care about me and that I really care about, who I know won't leave once I graduate. And when I leave OCU, they'll still be with me, and those connections are still so important and so heartfelt and genuine. And I think that that's what OCU is, and that's what OCU religious life is, and that's really what that connection has meant to me. And I know that that will continue through all my life and in my career.